Hello and welcome. My name is Russell Scott and I'm going to be talking to you for 7 minutes today on how to use your reticular activation system to achieve your results. The benefits of using your RAS effectively are manifold, and if you've ever achieved a goal that you've set for yourself, you've used your RAS well. Stephen Covey talks about effectiveness as being when you are doing the right thing that is going to get you some objectives, and talks about efficiency as when you're doing the thing right. So you could be efficiently procrastinating over something, efficiently finding ways to avoid the most important jobs, efficiently doing unimportant work. But effectiveness is when it comes down to the reticular activation system. The reticular activating system, or RAS, is the part of the brain that controls your attention and focus. So when you choose what it's going to be working on and give it a problem that's going to be beneficial for you to solve, then you're far more likely to actually get some positive results. It makes you much more likely to achieve goals that you set for yourself, and it means that you're going to be filling your life with better quality challenges and filling your business life, for example, with the results, the outcomes, the challenges that you want to have more of. Albert Einstein's quoted as saying that any man who can safely drive a car whilst kissing a pretty girl is not paying sufficient attention to the kissing. Each second we're bombarded by millions of bits of information, whether it's sights, sounds, smells, etc. And how the brain filters out the stuff that is important to us from the stuff that is not important to us at a given time is based on filters that are influenced by the reticular activation system. So, for example, you may be, if you're sitting down at the moment, you may feel how comfortable or uncomfortable the chair is, the seat is that you're sitting in. How comfortable is the shirt around your shoulders? How comfortable are your feet in your shoes at present? What about noises that are in the background? You may be able to hear there's a child playing on a trampoline nearby. There's a drilling machine happening over the fence nearby. Other sights and sounds happening. If I hadn't mentioned them, if I hadn't mentioned about your feet in your shoes, were you even aware of how comfortable or uncomfortable they may be? So I've drawn your attention to certain things that you may or may not have been focusing on. So how this is very, very powerful and essential to you achieving what you want is when you take action and choose what it is that you're going to focus on. So may I ask you a question? What is your intention for what you're going to get out of listening to this video clip today? What is the reason why you're listening? What is it that you want to learn from it? What is it you want to notice? What questions do you want to hear? What questions do you want answered? Why is it a useful use of 7 minutes of your time to listen to this clip? If the purpose of you listening to this is for how you can find something, even if it's just one thing in what I'm saying, that you can apply to your job, your life right now, to help to get you better results, then your reticular activation system is going to be hunting for that one thing that is going to help you right now, today. And you never know, it might actually find more than one thing. Enjoy the hunt. If you set yourself an intention, that's giving a clear message to your reticular activation system, a clear message that it then uses to choose what it filters in and what it filters out. Now, as the reticular activation system filters in and out information, these millions of bits of information each second that come to us, it filters them out and presents us with about 7 plus or minus 2 chunks of information that we can process in our conscious mind at any given time. And with those 7 bits of information, you want to have all 7 of those applying to the problem at hand, to the the thing that you're investing your time and energy into at that point in time. The reticular activation system, the RAS, filters them out by just deleting, distorting and generalizing that information. For example, if you said to yourself that the way we do business here right now, it's the right way, it's the best way, there's no way anybody can do any better. If you believed that, then that's what you're telling your reticular activation system. So if somebody came along and said, yeah, we do the same thing, but we do it in half the time, you may not, your unconscious mind may delete that. You might not even notice that they've said it. You may distort the information. So if the person says, oh yeah, we've got a way of doing that, and we can do it in half the time, you might distort that and say, well, yeah, that'll only work for them because, well, they're working in a different industry, and that might work for them, but it won't work for us. Or your mind could generalize the statement and say, yeah, well, they're always saying that they can do stuff in half the time. I never really believed them. They say that about everything. Your unconscious mind distorts, deletes and generalizes this information, consciously or unconsciously, so you may or may not be aware of what it's doing, but it does that in a way that either supports what you've given your RAS to focus on. I trust that you've learned something from this video clip, and I trust that the next meeting you go to, the next conversation you have, the next lecture, webinar, training session, any sort of professional development and networking, I trust with all of those things, you set yourself an intention at the beginning of it. What is it you want to achieve? What is it you want to bring? What sort of game are you going to play in there? Are you going to play your game at 100%? Who are you doing it for? Why are you doing it? What's in it for me? That question. If you have clarity and specificity about what it is that you want to achieve, what your intention is for a session, your reticular activation system is going to be on the hunt for evidence to support that. It's going to be on the hunt for how you can do it. So the question I've got for you is, who's going to choose the challenges that you're going to face? Thank you very much for your time. I trust that you found this useful. I would love to hear, what would you like to share? What have you learned? What else do you need to know? Please feel free to contact us at the details coming up shortly. Thank you.